55 schools throughout the district that needed air conditioning.
And asking why it takes so long for Denver schools to get air conditioner as this heat continues.
We'll have record highs for one more day, but then there's a big change by the weekend.
We begin with breaking news. Denver police say 3 people were shot. This is near Colfax and Josephine. You're taking a live look at the scene from Air Tracker 7. Those 3 have been taken to the hospital. The extent of their injuries is not known right now, but as you see, a large police presence at the scene, which is very near East High School. Now, we don't know who was shot or how this unfolded, but we have a crew arriving at the scene, and we will bring you details the moment we get them.
Welcome to Denver 7 News at 5. I'm Jessica Porter.
And I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us this half hour. We are firmly in the grip of this heat wave. We tied another record high today.
Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson is here now. Hopefully, Mike, with some good news on a cool down.
There is a cool down, but you have to be patient. We're still a little ways away from it. Today, we didn't quite hit 100 degrees. And we missed it by that much at 99 in Denver. That's a new record high temperature, though. 100 at Akron, 101 at Sterling, 102 at Ray. Pueblo at 100 degrees. It's still really hot out there. Greeley's still 100. It's 96 right now in Denver, and even in the mountains, temperatures in the 80s and 90s with the exception of Leadville and Telluride. There are a couple of scattered thunderstorms over central and southwestern Colorado. They don't have a chance of getting here. They're mostly stationary. We have air quality alerts for wildfire smoke. We have air quality alerts for ozone, and on the eastern plains, we have a heat advisory again in effect for tomorrow, and there's a fire weather warning in effect across much of northeast Colorado for tomorrow. Is there some good news? There is. One more really hot day. The record for tomorrow is 94. We'll beat that one. Cold front arrives Friday, though, and showers and cooler weather come in Friday into Saturday.
All right, thank you, Mike. And because of the heat, dozens of Denver public schools let out early or canceled class altogether because they don't have air conditioning. And this has parents scrambling for last-minute childcare.
Denver 7's Christian Lopez brought those concerns to school officials.
The extreme heat.
In Denver, we continue to support our schools. We continue to vote up bond measure after bond measure after bond measure.
Is disrupting the education of Emily Holben Walker's children.
And yet the same problems continue to go unsolved, and with only excuses for answers from the district. And really, who's paying the price are our children.
Her kids go to Bradley International, one of more than 30 schools in Denver forced to shut down early.
So many families don't have options. There are so many people who don't have PTO. They don't have paid time off. So what are these kids and their families doing? Is anyone home? Are they safe? What options do they have?
While some schools let kids out early, other campuses like Columbine Elementary canceled school completely Wednesday and Thursday because of these high temperatures. In 2020, Denver voters passed a bond that would pay for air conditioning in 24 of 55 schools that didn't have it. So far, 6 campuses have had air conditioning installed, but the rest have been delayed because of supply chain issues.
Where is the money going? Exactly. And then we have to stop getting excuses for answers.
I took her concerns directly to DPS.
Even I've been with Denver Public Schools for 22 years, and the temperatures here in Colorado are a lot different now than they were even 20 years ago.
Trina Marsal is the executive director of facility management.
Where we dedicated $795 million through the 2020 bond to various needs. There was also, the $128.5 million that was dedicated to air conditioning.
One of the concerns is transparency. She says the committee oversees how the money is spent, and they have a place right online to track the funds.
Due to the magnitude of those funds,
do you want to share what else he told you?
It's not an initiative that you can implement all at once.
Emily's hoping her children won't have to wait long.
I do think that there's light at the end of the tunnel because we can get AC in our schools. We can have climate control. Our kids can be comfortable so that they can learn and be safe.
In Denver, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
And we We know parents want AC in their kids' schools right now, but let's give you some context on why it's not an overnight fix. We spoke with the owner of Great Guys Heating and Cooling and Electrical in Littleton, and he says a big part of the delay is cost.
Traditionally, what you see for, I'm estimating here, but for an average grade school, you're probably going to see AC equipment somewhere in the $300,000 to $400,000 range, just at a beginning level, to replace some of that antiquated equipment.
On top of that, supply chain issues are impacting the entire commercial side of things. He says a lot of restaurants he works with are seeing delays of 7 to 8 months for equipment to come in.
We are learning tonight about a Denver special needs student who fell out a second-story window at school last week. Denver Public Schools confirms the student is enrolled in John F. Kennedy High School's special needs program. Injured his legs in the fall, though they would not say how severely he's hurt. The district is withholding the student's name and age and says only the incident is under investigation.
A stretch of downtown Boulder will return to its pre-pandemic self. A couple of blocks of Pearl Street will be back open to traffic.
And while you might expect businesses to hate the idea, well, Denver 7's Patrick Perez found some here welcome it.
These tastefully decorated concrete barriers here on the west end of Boulder's Pearl Street will soon be, at least for now, a reminder of what once was.
We just feel like from a legal perspective, the justification for closing the street does not exist anymore.
Sarah Huntley with the city of Boulder says an emergency order which allowed restaurants to use this space between 9th and 11th Streets for outdoor dining has come to an end.
Fortunately, we are seeing big improvements in terms of COVID.
As soon as the city has the resources to move these barriers, this section will reopen to traffic, to the joy of many of the restaurant owners here.
Things have changed and we like the street opened again.
Audrey Christoph, a partner at Big Red F Restaurant Group, which owns places like Centro, says the closure served its purpose, but it's time to return to normal.
The street closures hurt our business. It's hurt our sales a little bit because we're not accessible to all of our diners who want to drive or park or Uber, bus routes.
Not everyone is on board, though. Many have expressed to the city they enjoy the ability to walk with the street closed. But Chip, CEO of Downtown Boulder Partnership, argues that's why Pearl Street Mall, a few blocks down, exists.
We can activate the street, close it on weekends and in the summer, but all of that needs to be studied. In the meantime, there's no reason to keep it closed for the winter.
For now, expect this stretch of road to reopen with conversations about what to do next planned for the future.
Maybe we'll end up in a middle ground. Maybe we'll end up with it always being closed. Maybe we'll end up with it always being open. We don't know yet.
In Boulder, Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
And business owners in Golden want their outdoor dining back. Pandemic-era outdoor dining in Golden ended on Labor Day, so businesses in Miners Alley have been without it for 2 days. They already miss it. One restaurant owner we spoke with says it has been a lifeline financially. Also, he says allowing traffic to return could actually be dangerous.
Before we moved into this alley, people would tear through this alley at high rates of speed, often in the wrong direction to try and get around Washington traffic. It's only a matter of time before somebody's hurt or killed.
Some restaurants say outdoor dining has accounted for 40% of sales, and that owner there we spoke with now says he's in talks with City Council about reinstating outdoor dining, and we'll stay on top of this for you.
Denver is working to keep its outdoor dining program in place. The temporary program was extended until next month. It originally started in May of 2020. The city says they're in the process of developing a permanent program due to the success businesses have seen in the last couple of years.
I'm ending my career as a Super Bowl champion.
Former Broncos wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders is hanging up his helmet. How his friendship with Demaryius Thomas improved his performance on the field.
And this heat may have you thinking about cooler times. So we'll take a look at when our first snow could be and just how different things look now compared to this date 2 years ago.